Right now, you're putting yourself in the wrong position with her, and you probably don't even see it. You keep trying to fit into her life. You try to impress her. You answer fast. You're always there. And then you wonder why she doesn't really take you seriously, why she goes cold, why you feel like you're on standby. You think the problem is her, but most of it comes from how you're living and how you're acting. You're not being treated like a priority because you're not acting like one. You're acting like a backup. You're acting like a guy who's scared to lose one girl, and that energy is all over you. So that's what we're fixing. And we're not fixing it by learning tricks or fake lines or little hacks. We're gonna flip how you think, using a mindset that's been around for thousands of years, Stoicism. It's about mastering yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your time, your standards. When you actually live like that, you don't need to chase any girl. She feels it and she adjusts to you. So let's break down where you're going wrong and what you need to change. First, you act like you're easy to replace, so she treats you like you're easy to replace. You show her you'll stay no matter what. She cancels on you, you're still there. She disappears and suddenly comes back, you answer like nothing happened. She gives you half effort, you give her full effort. You're telling her, without words, you can treat me however, I'm not going anywhere. A guy who values himself does not live like that. A guy with standards does not stay in situations where he's clearly not important. Second, you're scared of losing her, so you accept disrespect. You keep thinking, if I say something, I might push her away. If I set a boundary, she might leave. So you say nothing. You let things slide. You swallow your frustration. That fear is exactly why she doesn't respect you. You're treating her attention like it's oxygen and treating your own self-respect like it's optional. She can feel that. People sense when you're afraid to lose them, and they use that. Third, you're too available. Way too available. You answer instantly. You're always free if she wants to hang out. You drop your plans. You move your schedule around her. You think this shows interest. To her, it shows that you have nothing going on. It shows that your time is cheap. Respect comes when your time is clearly important, even to you. If you don't act like your time matters, she won't either. Fourth, you confuse being nice with being valuable. You've been told your whole life to be nice, be sweet, be available, be understanding, always be there. And then you do all that, and she chooses someone else. It's not because kindness is bad. It's because you're using kindness as a strategy to get attention. That doesn't come off as strength. It comes off as trying to buy her interest. Real value is not, I'll do anything for you. Real value is I'm a solid man with a good life, and if we connect, cool. If not, I keep moving. Fifth, you put her above everything, but you don't put anything above her. Your goals, your hobbies, your friends, your body, your studies, your work, all of it is in second place. She is the main focus. She feels that. She feels that your life rotates around her, and that kills attraction. Women respect men who have something bigger than them going on. A mission, a path, a standard. When she is the center of your whole world, she loses interest. When she has to fit into your world, she pays attention. Sixth, you chase her emotions instead of controlling your own. When she pulls back, you panic. When she replies dry, you overthink. When she takes long to answer, you start checking your phone every minute. Your mood depends on her texts. That means you gave away all your power. Emotional control is everything here. Stoicism is exactly that. Focusing on what you can control, accepting what you can't, and not letting every little thing throw you off. Seventh, you treat her reactions like they define your worth. She leaves you on read, and you feel like you're not good enough. She cancels, and you feel like you're nothing. She slows down, and you start thinking something is wrong with you. This is the trap. You let one person's behavior decide how you feel about yourself. That's not stoic. A stoic mindset is, I know who I am. If someone doesn't see it, that's their loss, not my collapse. Eighth, you react instead of observing. Every little move she makes, you jump. She posts a story with another guy, you rage inside. She doesn't answer, you send another message. She acts distant, you try harder. Instead of stepping back and watching patterns, you instantly react. A man in control watches first. He notices patterns. He sees if her actions match her words. He doesn't rush to fix anything. He adjusts when he needs to, calmly. Ninth, you think emotional detachment means not caring. It doesn't. Emotional detachment means you care, but you don't lose yourself. You can like her. You can be interested. But you don't let her behavior turn you into a wreck. If she texts, cool. If she doesn't, you're still good. If it works out, great. If not, you adjust and move on. You don't sit around building a whole future in your head from a couple of dates. 10th, you're addicted to instant reassurance. You need constant signs that she likes you. You need quick replies. You need emojis. You need calls. You need her to show you over and over that you matter. When you live like that, you're putting your whole sense of security in her hands. The moment she slows down, you crash. You need to become someone who provides his own reassurance through his actions, his habits, his progress. 11th, you don't let space work for you. You think if you're not always present, she'll forget you. So you flood her with attention. But attraction builds in the space where the other person wonders about you. When she never gets that space, she doesn't get curious. She doesn't think about you. You are always just there. A stoic guy knows when to lean in and when to lean back. He gives space without drama. 12th, you have weak boundaries or none at all. You let late night, maybe texts pull you out of your plans. You tolerate disrespectful tone. You accept last-minute cancellations with no explanation. You say nothing when she keeps talking about other guys she's seeing. Every time you stay silent, you train her to see you as someone who will accept anything. 13th, you see boundaries as rude instead of necessary. You think saying no makes you the bad guy, so you keep saying yes, even when it annoys you, even when it makes you feel used. A boundary is not an attack. A boundary is a simple line that says, "This doesn't work for me." When you don't have that line, you're not being nice, you're being weak. Women might like your attention for a while, but they don't respect that kind of weakness. 14th, you try to control her instead of controlling access to you. You might find yourself thinking, how do I stop her from talking to other guys? How do I stop her from playing games? You can't. You don't control what she does, you only control what you accept. If she wants to talk to other guys, that's her choice. Your choice is whether you stick around or not. A stoic man focuses on his side, not on policing hers. 15th, you talk way more than you act. You tell her you're serious. You tell her you're different. You tell her you're loyal. You tell her you're not like other guys. She's heard all of that 100 times. She waits for your actions. Do you keep your word? Do you show up when you say you will? Do you live by your standards even when she's not looking? That's what actually matters. 16th, you try to win her with long messages and speeches. You send paragraphs trying to explain yourself, trying to save things, trying to prove you're a good guy. You write mini essays about how you feel. But if your actions and her experience with you don't line up with those words, your message means nothing. You can't talk your way into respect. You live your way into it. 17th, you overshare and kill any sense of mystery. You tell her everything about your day, your feelings, your fears, your past, your plans, all at once. You think honesty means unloading every detail. What actually happens is she learns you too fast. There's no room left to discover. There's no pace. Attraction grows when both people slowly learn more about each other, not when one person dumps their whole life story in the first week. 18th, you're predictable from morning to night. She already knows you're going to text good morning, text all day, and text good night. Every day looks the same. There is no surprise, no change, no gap. Stability is good, but being completely predictable removes any sense of excitement. You don't have to play games, but you also don't need to be glued to her phone 24/7. You have a life to live. 19th, you don't protect your time. Your schedule is open and flexible for her, but closed for your own improvement. If she calls, you answer. If she asks to hang out, you'll cancel other things. If she wants something, you shift. It sounds caring, but deep down you know you're disrespecting your own priorities. A man with a stoic mindset sets his day based on his goals first. Other people fit around that, not over it. 20th, you confuse effort with overinvesting. You think you're supposed to give maximum effort no matter what, even when she's giving minimum effort. That's not effort. That's imbalance. Real effort is matched. If you're constantly the one reaching out, planning, paying, adjusting, and she's doing almost nothing, you are not being caring. You're just carrying everything. That never ends well. 21st, you ignore the reciprocity rule. Healthy attraction has balance. If you give time, she gives time. If you share, she shares. If you show interest, she shows interest. When that balance disappears, and you keep giving while she barely shows up, you're teaching her that she doesn't have to do anything. She learns that you will stay, even if she gives the bare minimum. 22nd, you stay when she gives less and less. At first, she was active. She texted you. She wanted to see you. You were both putting in effort. Then her energy started to drop. You felt it, but instead of pulling back and seeing what she does, you pushed harder. You tried to win her back while she was already drifting. That move kills the little respect that's left, because now you're chasing a version of her that is not even there anymore. 23rd, you're scared to pull back. You think if you stop talking as much, if you stop planning everything, she'll disappear. Here's the truth. If she disappears when you match her effort, she was never really in. A stoic man accepts that. He doesn't chase someone who already checked out mentally. He lets the person leave and focuses on people who actually show up. 24th, you see rejection as a verdict on your value. A girl turns you down and you feel crushed. She ghosts you and you feel broken. She chooses someone else and you feel small. But rejection is not a final statement about who you are. It's information. It shows you something about timing, compatibility, or your current level. That's it. You can learn from it or let it control you. 25th, you don't use rejection as feedback. Instead of asking, what can I improve? You sit in self-pity. Maybe you were too available. Maybe you had no boundaries. Maybe you moved too fast. Maybe you ignored red flags. The point isn't to hate yourself. The point is to see clearly. A stoic mindset looks at rejection calmly and turns it into a lesson, not a wound. 26th, you chase women instead of chasing growth. Most of your energy goes into texting, talking, scrolling, thinking about girls. Then you say you want respect and attraction, but you put almost nothing into your body, your money, your skills, your social life, your self-control. Attraction follows growth. When you level up, women notice. When you stay the same and just keep chasing, they don't. 27th, you want a high-quality girl while living like a low-standard man. You want a loyal, feminine, respectful, attractive woman. But your life is messy. Your habits are weak. Your room is a mess. Your routine is random. Your goals are vague. Your mindset is reactive. You're asking for someone you're not even ready for. Stoicism pushes you to fix your own side first, before demanding anything from anyone else. 28th, you let your emotions run wild. You get jealous quickly. You get upset easily. You overthink every small change. You snap. You argue. You send emotional messages when you feel insecure. All of that comes from not managing your emotions. Women do not feel safe with that kind of man. She might enjoy the attention for a while, but she won't see long-term stability there. 29th, you try to solve her emotional swings instead of staying steady. When she is stressed, upset, moody, you jump in trying to fix everything. You take everything personal. You get pulled into every mood change. You match her energy, and now both of you are unstable. A better move is to stay calm, listen, and not take every emotion as an emergency. You don't have to fix everything. You just can't fall apart with her. 30th, you turn every small problem into a crisis. She takes longer to reply, and your mind goes to the worst case. She mentions another guy, and you instantly assume she prefers him. She needs space, and you think she's done. Because your emotions are not under control, you blow up small things. A stoic guy does the opposite. He stays neutral until patterns, not moments, show the truth. 31st, you make her your only source of happiness. Your mood rises when she's into you, and drops when she isn't. Without her, your day feels empty. That level of dependence is heavy for anyone to carry. It's not attractive. You need multiple sources of fulfillment. Your projects, your progress in the gym, your friendships, your hobbies, your learning. Then a girl becomes a bonus, not the whole game. 32nd, you don't have a clear purpose. You wake up and just react. School or work, then phone, then games, then scrolling. No long-term plan. No serious target. No deep work. Women are drawn to men who are moving towards something. It shows maturity and direction. Stoicism and purpose go together. You decide what matters, and you build your days around that. 33rd, you accept any role in her life as long as you're in it. Friend who she vents to while she dates other guys, you accept it. Guy she calls when she's bored, you accept it. Random backup when other plans fail, you accept it. You keep telling yourself, at least I'm around. But being around in a weak position only hurts you. If the role doesn't match your standards, you step back. That's self-respect. 34th, you don't clearly decide what you will and won't accept. You haven't sat down and told yourself, if this happens, I'm done. If she does this, I step away. If there is no effort from her side, I stop investing. Without those rules, you act based on emotion every time. A stoic man has simple rules for himself and sticks to them, even if it's uncomfortable. 35th, you think walking away is losing. You see leaving a bad situation as defeat, so you stay, hoping it changes. But walking away when your needs and standards are ignored is not losing. It's choosing yourself. It's protecting your time, your energy, and your mental health. You don't shout. You don't create drama. You just stop giving access to someone who misused it. 36th, you keep trying to convince her instead of letting reality speak. You send more messages. You buy more gifts. You show more effort. You hope she will finally see your value. But if she doesn't see your value from how you live and how you carry yourself, more chasing won't change that. People see value in how you treat yourself, not in how desperately you treat them. 37th, you ignore her actions and believe only her words. She might say she likes you, but never makes time. She might say she's just busy, but she's active everywhere else. She might say you're important, but always pushes you to the side. Stop listening to words that don't match behavior. A stoic mindset is about reality, not excuses. You look at what someone actually does. 38th, you reward bad behavior with more attention. She pulls away, and you chase. She disrespects you, and you try harder. She flakes, and you forgive instantly. You don't need to shout or insult her. You simply need to reduce your access and effort when the behavior is off. If you reward disrespect, it will continue. If you pull back calmly, she either adjusts or fades out. 39th, you're scared of being alone. That fear is what keeps you stuck. You'd rather be half chosen than alone. You'd rather be an extra guy in her life than no guy in her life. But alone time is where you grow. Alone time is where you build your body, your money, your mindset, your skills. If you use that time right, you won't be scared of it. You'll welcome it. 40th, you don't see yourself as the prize. You see her as the prize and yourself as someone trying to win her. That mindset ruins everything. You should be building yourself into someone solid, disciplined, composed, and focused. Then dating becomes you choosing who fits into your life, not begging to be chosen. She can feel when you actually see yourself as valuable. 41st, you want loyalty from her but not discipline from yourself. You want her to be loyal, feminine, and respectful, but you are not consistent with your habits. You break promises you make to yourself. You say you'll work out, then you skip it. You say you'll study, then you scroll. Self-discipline is the base of all of this. If you can't keep your own word, why would anyone fully trust you? 42nd, you define your identity by her attention. When she likes you, you feel like a king. When she loses interest, you feel worthless. That means you don't have a solid identity outside of her. Stoicism is about building that stable identity. You know your values, you know your direction, you know what you stand for. A woman can add to that, but she doesn't create it. 43rd, you take ghosting and flaking as reasons to break down instead of as filters. When a girl ghosts you, that's a filter. When she keeps flaking, that's a filter. She is showing you where she's at. Instead of chasing harder, you accept it. You let her go. You don't need a speech. You don't need revenge. You just stop giving energy to someone who doesn't show up. 44th, you forget that her interest is her choice. You cannot force attraction. You can't talk someone into feeling something real. Your job is not to control her feelings. Your job is to become a strong, stable, focused man, and then see who is drawn to that. If she is not, it's fine. You keep moving. You don't beg for what isn't there. 45th, you underestimate how powerful calmness is. Most guys are reactive, emotional, impulsive. They get triggered easily. When something goes wrong, they explode or collapse. Calmness stands out. A man who stays steady when things get confusing, who doesn't rush into drama, who thinks before acting, becomes very attractive. Not because he's pretending, but because he actually has control of himself. 46th, you keep chasing comfort instead of tolerance for discomfort. Setting boundaries is uncomfortable. Walking away is uncomfortable. Not replying instantly is uncomfortable. Focusing on your work when you want to stalk her socials is uncomfortable. But this is where you grow. Stoicism is about being okay with discomfort. You don't run from it. You use it. 47th, you try to act stoic only around her instead of becoming that person for real. You try to look calm in front of her, but your life is chaotic behind the scenes. That won't last. You can't keep an act up forever. Instead, actually practice this mindset in everything. With family, with friends, at school, at work, in the gym. You train yourself to respond calmly in all areas, so it's real, not fake. 48th, you think scarcity is about games, not priorities. Scarcity isn't, I'll ignore her on purpose just to mess with her head. Scarcity is, my life is full, I have things to do. I'm not available every second. You don't force it, you simply live a structured life. You have training, learning, work, hobbies, friends. She is not the center of every hour, so naturally, you are not always on your phone waiting for her. 49th, you give your attention for free. Attention is your energy, your time, your focus. When you give it nonstop to someone who doesn't earn it, you drain yourself. Start treating your attention as something valuable. Give it fully to people who actually show care and effort. Give it to your goals. Give it to your improvement. That shift alone will change how women see you. 50th, you forget that the main goal is not get this girl, but become a solid man. If you only focus on one girl, you'll bend your whole personality around her. If you focus on becoming a stronger man, your standards rise, your options widen, and your whole life gets better. Women respond to that, not to a guy who is desperate to be chosen by one person. So here's the reality. If you keep acting like you don't matter, you will keep meeting people who agree with you. If you keep acting like your time is cheap, people will keep wasting it. If you keep chasing validation, you will keep handing away your power. But when you shift into a stoic mindset, everything changes. You stop reacting to every mood and every text. You set simple, clear boundaries and follow them. You give effort only where there is effort back. You protect your time and energy. You focus on your mission, your health, your money, your skills. You stay calm when people test you. You walk away when respect is gone. That's when you stop being the guy she calls when she's bored and become the man she doesn't want to lose. Not because you're playing games, not because you're pretending, but because you actually became a different person on the inside. You don't need to chase her approval. You need to earn your own. Once you respect yourself on a deep level, everything about how you move changes, and women feel that long before you say a word.